We have talked to 3 different sources that are saying almost the same thing, with a caveat. They're all good, high sources. The first source said notifications. For Tier 4B, that's us, the internet group should be out this weekend. The next source said, if all goes according to plan, then we will be notified this weekend. And we had another source, separate source, that said virtually the same thing. If everything goes according to plan, then we should be notified for Tier 4B this weekend. Vietnam is a communist regime. They have a dictator. They do what China does. They get into manufacturing and export. They intentionally decrease and lower the value of the currency. It's to their advantage to keep the value of their currency down. It's not to Vietnam's advantage to increase their currency value. I do unthink they would increase the value of their currency until they change their government structure from communist dictator regime to a democracy. The monetary reform of Iraq, the whole concept of adding value to their currency. Bringing purchasing power by lifting the 3 zeros. Introducing lower notes and going international into a float. That's 1000% emo. I was looking for it in December, January 1st, but it is the Middle East. I'm looking for 2 papers, documents. When cashing in, you will not get a better rate with a redemption center. Why? Because they don't exist unless they're being run out of daycare centers in Minnesota. The rate is no different, no matter where you decide to go. Banks are still the safest. Inside the budget, it'll show you the period of coverage for those. There's been some different theories on this, but the budgets themselves say that the period of coverage spans from January through December. If that is indeed their budget period, that's critical to the timing of a rate change. Here's why. Budgets are calculated off the currency value. The budget is also a law. That S, because all aspects of that law have to exist, such as the currency value that it, S, calculated off of. They also have not approved the 25 amended budget, was calculated off the new currency value, as is the new 26 budget, as is the new 26 budget. That as the reason they correct currency value exists, that the budget was calculated off of. Very simple. Over-delivery thrives on surprise. Over-delivery thrives on surprise. In other words, the expectations are put out for a long period of time. They're actually doing it faster and probably going to surprise us. Some people seem to think that the withdrawal of UNAMI is some big deal. It means next to nothing. One team goes home, another replaces them. Iraq, more than likely, has no interest, secretly in their hearts, in providing a profit to the different countries who participated in the 2003 invention and who are now holding millions of Iraqi dinars, including the United States. Iraq has lots of natural resources, somewhere in the neighborhood of 16 trillion. You have to take that into consideration. Low inflation, plenty of foreign reserves, plenty of gold, and a huge amount of non-oil revenue streams, ties to global financial integration. Political stability reduces risks for international partners, such as the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, $100 million facility. They're headed into the global markets. It's obvious. It's clear as day. These elections are happening faster than they ever have. They completed their parliament in record time. Everything is coming together correctly and fast, like in record time. The CBI put this out on the television. This is absolute. The Central Bank of Iraq is rolling out a new currency mechanism by the end of this month. They're tightening up the circulation of the dinar, cutting it down by about 5.5% this last quarter. It's all part of the bigger plan to stabilize the currency. They're not messing with the exchange rate itself. They're pushing for a more digital approach, more international. The monetary mechanism is streamlining everything that is required for a new exchange rate. Trump's envoy, 2026, will be the year for resolving 18 issues in Iraq. Quote, he affirmed work will continue with the government of the Republic of Iraq within the framework of the Iraqi constitution, expressing his hope that 2026 will be the year of the end of instability, plundering of the country's wealth, poor services, loose weapons, smuggling, unemployment, militias, money laundering, ignorance, internal tensions, sham contracts, poverty, foreign interference, embezzlement, inequality, corruption, circumvention of the law, and injustice. The U.S. envoy added, this message is directed to those who have wreaked havoc in Iraq. Your time is over, and the time of Iraq and the Iraqis has begun. The UN declared Iraq a sovereign state with the UN exiting Iraq. Not coincidental. They're doing this. They declared Iraq being a sovereign state towards the end of the year 25 when they retransitioning to a brand new international beginning in 2026. Rolling out banking reforms that have waited for eternity, banking reforms, tax reforms, brand new massive trading systems, and launching their trade booming. All of that requires a convertible currency. There's one thing in the midst of all this that's being hidden from all of us. When is Mark Servia going to Iraq? All I know is we are going to pay taxes on the dinar. I just don't know where. We don't have the tax code yet. Trump hasn't released it yet. Nobody releases it until this event happens. First of all, redemption centers, and that S, where we primarily focus on redemption center screens, have placeholders for 25 currencies and their rates. We did get this. The Vietnamese dong is doing very well. The dong does not have a contract rate, but the rate is quite good. The dinar has a contract rate Press Trump set up in his first term, and I believe Iraq will honor that contract rate, which is extremely high. I can't tell you what it is, but you won't be disappointed at all. We're in good shape. My contact in the CBI is on the committee responsible for orchestrating the project to delete the zeros. This past weekend, Iraq even aired videos about the swap out, and the CBI was expected to update their official website with explanations of the swap out and descriptions of the newer, lower denominations. I was told this project was supposed to kick off on December 29th and was stalled. However, don't be too disappointed that things are stalled, as I am hearing from the CBI that this all may still work out and has to work out somehow. Iraq is ready for this next move to international status. Thank you for watching.